Hello, welcome to Snooker Pro Tips. Received a message asking me about this particular shot. I have done a clip already on YouTube regarding sort of shortening the cue. If it is you haven't watched that clip, then if you watch that clip after you've watched this clip, you'll then realise how to actually hold the cue and shortening the cue basically for this type of shot. I'm not going to go through it again because I've already done the clip, and it involves potting this red here. So the white there is flush to the cushion and the red is just fractionally in the middle of the table. I'm just going to pot it in the centre pocket. Now the difficulty with having the cue ball tight on a cushion is that you can't hit it too hard, and the main thing is what you've got to try and do is hit it as smoothly as you can. And the problem players have with this is you can only see a fraction of the ball above the cushion, and that's what's making it very difficult. So there is a way of playing it, there is a way of doing it, and I'm going to show you now. Now the important thing is to start off with is to shorten the cue. Now like I've said, you'll have to take a look on the rest of the clips I've got on there, and it is on there. I think it's Snooker Pro Tip 16, something like that, shortening the cue. And if you watch that, then you can sort of pick it up from there. Now, the one thing you've got to do now, once you've got this type of shot, is just raise the back end of the cue very slightly. So you're just raising it up slightly, not a lot, just very slightly. Because if you don't, the one thing that's going to happen is this. You'll miss cue, because you can't actually get enough onto the cue ball to hit it correctly. Now don't go to the other extreme, which again, another contributor is, this is why I've sort of done clips, another contributor on there has talked about raising the cue up and sort of hitting it from there. The problem now with that is absolutely immense, because what you can't be doing on a regular basis there is hitting the centre of the white. So whatever you do, don't go raising the cue up too high, because what in his terms you get a better purchase on the white. This is complete and utter rubbish, and I have done a clip on also various bridges around the rails here, or I should say the cushions. So you don't raise the cue up that high, and all you're going to do is just basically just lift it up oh so gradually, so as you can strike the white nicely. So what I'm going to do now is put the camera back on this so we can see the pot that I get. Now the important thing with this is don't have a very big backswing. For the simple fact of it is you can't, because your hand is it's closer to the rail, so now if you have a really big backswing, the cue comes off. So it's got to be a more short, compact swing, backswing, but also the thing to remember is to follow through. So as you can see now, I've got there, just raising the cue just a little bit, and then just a nice gentle push through the white. You can see there I've just followed through just nicely, because that's where the white is, and you see there I've pushed through, cue's got through, and then I've just gently knocked the red into the corner. That goes for a lot of shots when you're playing from the rail. You're not trying to play it too firm. The harder you try and hit it, the more chance there is you're not hitting the cue ball down the centre line, and that's what makes that pot very difficult. The other thing that makes that pot very difficult is the fact that you're playing against the nap of the cloth. Now, playing against the nap of the cloth has the effect that the white just might pull off slightly because of the pace you're playing at. So the important thing with this shot now is to just play it at a nice speed, so it's not going to pull off. And the speed I've just hit the last one there is just about right, so the white just isn't going to drift that fraction with the nap of the cloth and then just drift away from the red, because the tendency is that you hit the red thin. So again, just raising the cue end just a little bit, and then just a gentle push through. You see again there, just a nice pot. And basically that is potting off the side cushion. You can see there I haven't tried it too hard. You can strike it a little bit like that, but it's very difficult to do and needs a lot of practice. So as a 5-minute practice, it's something like put the white on the side rail there and just practice just potting balls gently into pockets nicely. And basically that's it about playing that type of shot. You're just raising the butt just that little bit. Don't go overboard and lift it so it's about 45 degrees. You know, if your cue's level, you're only just bringing it up, say, about 4 or 5 degrees, and that's about it. Because if you don't, then and you keep it flat, you'll go over the top of the cue ball, as you saw earlier on. Now, if you raise it up any higher, that's a big mistake, and that you're going to have major problems. You won't pot the ball too often you're going for. So I hope that has sort of answered a few questions regarding cueing off the side cushion there. It is a practice you can do. You can do it with the black on the spot if you like. You can do it with the pink on the spot. You can do it with the blue on the spot. But basically the shot is the same. It's the same wherever you put it. Very rare can you get any real power into the white. It is possible. I'll try and do one. I'll try and put one on so as you can see it actually. See if I can get a little bit of power into it. And it's normally when you're playing certain shots where you just need that little bit of extra follow through. So I'll just see if I can just sort of get it into shot for you so I can do it. If I don't pop the red first time, I'll have another go and try and stick it on again. Hopefully I shall pot it first time. So now what I'm going to try and do actually is pop the red to the corner pocket there, and then bring the white back to where I am now, and bring it across the table so when you play the black into the same pocket. So this is quite a difficult shot, especially if you're playing with a little bit of power. And once again, just raising the cue up just nice and gently. You can see that I've just hit through it nicely and got it first time. But that takes a lot of practice. Not easy to do, very difficult. You see that I'm just nicely on the black. Red's disappeared into the pocket there, I'm just nicely on it. So and there I'll be able to then probably take the black and hopefully make a colours clearance if needed. And that's playing off the rail, so just keep it nice and simple. Don't try and hit the ball too hard, and the important thing is having just a nice pace. You don't be playing it dead weight if you can help it, because the white may drift off with the nap of the cloth. I'm going to do a clip shortly about nap of the cloth and try and explain it the best I can on this table I coach on an individual basis and a group basis. But it's very difficult because the cloth it's a superfine match cloth and it doesn't pull quite as much as probably your club tables do. So I will try my best to explain how it actually works, even though you may not be able to see it again because my camera work's not that great. But that's playing off the rail. I hope that's answered a few questions. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask, please send me a message. Please feel free to leave any comments on any of the clips you see from Snooker Pro Tips. I always try and get around to answering all questions where possible, and if you have got any match situations or you need to know anything at all about the game in general, please don't hesitate to leave me a personal message. It's been Snooker Pro Tips. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you.